So, where are we at? Well, this is race 4. We really are only 4 races into the season, I think. And so far, it has been ridiculously close. Might be race 5. We had a bad start from last stream, but we've got new parts on the car now, and it's starting to come together. We actually won the last race. I'll do a bit of a recap after this, because we are about to do final qualifying in Japan. But it's been wild how close the cars are, and how changeable this championship is so far. So what we're the situation we're at the moment is the team's going well, the drivers are driving okay. Kikuchi, and this is evidence of how wild it is, I can't show you here. I'm pretty certain she's already a level 76. Like, that's how much overtaking, defending, maneuvers, everything's gone on in these first few races. Like, I don't know how many events you have to trigger to get a point increase in different areas, but she has, like, come on leaps and bounds in various areas just because that's how close it's been. Like, it's crazy. Sophie retired. No, Sophie's still at McLaren. So really our primary driver is Liz Richter, and Kikuchi is our newly promoted rookie. We do have a new deputy, but this is the key thing at the moment. So fresh tyres. I think we will qualify her on old softs. I can't see us starting qualifying much above 10th anyway. There's a couple of people on penalties, so she probably will go about 8th. But we'll see how it goes. So let's do Japan, and I'll show you some of the stuff. But like last race off stream, I really wish I'd streamed it to Discord the other night when I managed to get one in. Like, there was 3 red flags. We had 3 red flags in the race. And Liz won it by, like, tiny increments of a second. Tiny increments of a second. I should point out as well, this is now running on my new graphics card. Well, my new second-hand graphics card, courtesy of a mate. Which is, that's a bad time. That's a bad time from Liz. She's gonna have to go out again. She got stuck in traffic. She got caught on a corner, and that screwed her. That's really annoying. So, what was I saying? I have completely forgotten what I was saying. That's better. Well done, Liz. Oh yeah, so no, I've got the 370 in. So I've got a new graphics card in. I put it in yesterday. So I was running on relatively high on everything, so I don't think you'll see a drastic difference. But now we are running on ultra on everything, which is nice. So the 370 doesn't speed your cars up. It makes them less blur. It looks like they have less motion blur as a result. That is one change I've noticed. That's not bad, 8th. That's not bad. So both cars are mostly running on decent parts now. Not entirely. We are keeping Kikuchi generally a generation of parts back until she finishes, till one breaks. But then rather than working through the old ones like we were doing with Ella last year, I am putting her onto new parts. So she does have a better car, because I think keeping her morale up is more important for us.
It's race day.
So we do have rain. Rain is going to kick in about there. So that makes this awkward. Like, we're not going to want to go to inters until there. Might even be wets. So I think for Liz, this is a double soft. Like, reasonably, how far can she get on double softs? That's assuming our weather forecast is accurate. We're looking about there. How's the tyre weather season? Liz is great on tyres. Kikuchi, not so much. I think Liz can make that. Like, realistically, even this run, if this is a few laps late. Did we invest in weather this time round? Did they still in the Porticab in second hand from a school in the 70s? I think that's actually the top upgrade on weather. I have upgraded the weather centre again, so they are more accurate than they were last season. I think we can do that. I think Liz is a double soft, so I don't think hards would last that long. Or rather, the performance drop-off would just make it not worth it. I think we can definitely underfuel. Maybe even by 3. Because that's 23 laps-ish. I think we can get away with 3 under, you know. And I think she can start fast. So Kikuchi, generally my focus is on just getting her around the track. Like, she is still a rookie. Not crashing is really the priority for her. I think she probably can make it on softs, we just can't push the softs. Like with Liz, we can push those softs. I think we go with that. Yeah, it is when Yoko crashes, so I think we can underfuel her by 3 as well, though, which will help her massively. Defending and smoothness are the areas which she's really weak in. Well, and adaptability, neither of them is great in, so rain is, you know, great. Let's go with that.
We're all good to go here in Japan with 53 laps around the Suzuka circuit. The AlphaTauri driver has got a lot of people talking.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
And it looks like we're good to go. The drivers are warmed up, they're ready to go here at the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
We are off. Interesting. Does everyone else think they can stretch mediums? Really? The big difference you should notice on this, by the way, is better effects when they go off track. You should get less motion blur, and you should get, if someone goes off slightly, you should actually get a bit more dirt rather than just random pixels. I have no idea what it'll do to the confetti. Not drop the guys on mediums. They're probably really pushing the mediums. Also, the Williams is fast this year. Yeah, look, if you see the medium is their medium is wearing at the same level as our softs. But the Williams is a good car this year. I mean, you say, like, wow, they've really dropped. Look at the timing intervals on that. This is what I'm saying about how close it is this year. Like, I don't know what if you added all the map... Well, I mean, don't need to. Let's do leader. There's only 9 seconds between me and last place. And most of that is just because the cars are stacked. Like, that is... And yeah, the real difference is it means that everyone's drawing DRS. So it's just overtaking is just crazy because you're constantly trying to overtake someone who's also trying to overtake someone else. It's not enabled yet, but it is coming in very shortly. We're on lap 2. They are absolutely pushing their mediums though because they're wearing at the same level as ours are. Yeah, everyone gets DRS except us. Yeah, we're going to end up in a thing. This is honestly the closest season I've ever played in this game. Images of 19 cars overtaking us down the back straight on lap 3. We'll lose a couple of places. So we should start to get a bit of separation now. Because we should now drop them. Because I think they'll have to tail off on the tyres. Because I think they've been running aggressive to keep up with us. You see, like, he's pushing again.
Now here we are at the final corner. And that's the moment they lose it. And there's not much they can do about that now.
Rocks! We got rocks! I know, we got gravel in a gravel track. They've taken the confetti out of the gravel track. New regulation changed this year. Right, we're going to have to pull back on these tyres shortly. But you see what I mean? Like, we're not really... Because he's getting DRS off of him, but you can see what I mean about how good the Williams is. Oh, fuck off. Screw you, game. No. Fuck you, game. Blame it out on the new graphics card. Like we weren't pushing on anything, weren't doing anything.
With 53 laps around the system. Get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix.
It'll be the same again though, it'll be really close.
And it's lights out and away we go.
But those Williamses are just so good this year. It's quite cool, really. It's nice to have good Williamses. It's nice to see Williams up there. Oh, did Kikuchi just pull up an overtake? She did.
What happened there? Now, by the looks of things, we're at turn 15 now. The opportunity begging to be taken. And that puts them in 6th.
Superman appears, pushes the world's rotation back a bit and puts his Brawn uniform back on in the phone box, yep. Right, we do need to pull back off these tyres. Yeah, let's pull back on them. Sargent clearly thinks he can go the whole distance this time.
Here's the replay. Now this is what happened as they took turn 8. There's the opening. And 5th place after that.
Like, everyone on mediums is going to need to pit.
We can take a look now. Now here we are tackling turn 3. It's there for the taking.
Oh, he gets it back on that corner though, I think. It's promising though. She's doing all right. No, I think we might want to run a bit long on this. Because if everyone else is running on mediums, that kind of suggests that they might think they need the extra couple of laps.
Second corner. They decide to give it a go.
I'm reasonably certain that's not the second corner.
And the AlphaTauri manages to get by.
Well, we're getting so much more distance. I think Sargent's gone with slightly different tyres. And that means that they've not been DRSing each other. Because Lawson's managed to stay... Doohan's managed to keep Lawson out behind him. So we've not had the DRS shuffle. It's interesting to see that they changed the tyre things. But yeah, I think we're going to run 2 laps long on tyres. Because I think we're going to need it. So I think we pit now. The other thing to remember is others might not have a second set of fresh softs. But I don't know if the game actually respects that or not. Theoretically, they shouldn't have 2 sets of fresh softs we should probably be the only team of the ones that got through to third qualifying. We should be the only ones that have 2 sets of fresh softs, because I was very careful about that. But who knows? So that would be another reason why a bunch of them would have started on mediums. But I think it was worth running a bit long just in case. And we will run aggressive just on this lap. Okay, out in 5th, that's not bad. Up to 4th already. Okay, standard. She's on standard, that's fine.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now this was at turn 1. The opportunity's there. Closer and closer to that point. So let's take a look at the replay. Now the Alpha Tauri involved here. It's certainly inviting. Really, what fantastic driving that was.
It's not actually a corner. Yeah, I know. Took him on the corner. There's got to be a corner there for them to take him on the corner. Right. Right, everyone's on softs now. I mean, technically the curve of the Earth's surface makes it a corner, I suppose. Found a World War II era wood computer chair in my workshop. I think I'm going to have to restore and refinish it for sound. Nice! That's amazing. Right, this is basically going to come down to whether we got the tyre strategy right here.
So this is what happened. The gap opens up for them.
So Lawson pulling back up again. He's fast this year. That Haas is actually not a bad car.
Let's take a closer look. Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. And wide they go, leaving the racing line. That won't do the floor of the car any good at all.
Oh, look, you could see damage on the floor of the car on that. Interesting. Alright, Kikuchi, you can have a bit of a burst. Yeah, I think we were right to run long on those tyres. There we go, rain starting. Now the question here is whether we're going on to wets or not. Right, that's 0.5. Nah, this is inters. This is inters. This is inters. Fucking Auga living on the edge. Sergeant runs wide.
this was the 7th corner. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there, but all being well and fingers crossed.
It's good news for us.
Lasting damage to the car.
How soon to change? So theoretically, we could change up from 0.75 onwards. Right, people are changing. I want to see what they come out on. Inters is a tyre of choice. Poor Chair had a pit stop issue.
So we've got the Red Bull pitting. However, they can't seem to jack the car up.
I'd say they got it up. I'd say getting it down was the battle. Okay, chat, what are we doing? I think we're staying out. I think everyone else is pitting partly because they don't have the tyres to do another lap. We've got enough in the tyres to do another lap. That was an embarrassment. Look! Happens to everyone. Sometimes you just can't get it up. I think we're doing another lap. I think we've got the tyres for it. How wet can the softs take? It's normally about now that they start to drop off in performance, I've noticed. I honestly think more people would have stayed out if they had a chance. But now we're the only two on softs. We definitely want to pit. Because this is as much of an advantage as we're going to get out of it. Like, we're going to come out in first place. And yeah, there's 20 seconds between them, so we can easily double stack. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Existing phase of press save double stack for. All right, yeah. Come on, out in first. Out in first. Cooch out in ninth. That's not bad. She'll drop back because she just doesn't have the wet weather ability. Push them. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But we are going to conserve you for a bit. And we are going to conserve you slightly. Let's get him down to 3. We'll leave them on conserve, actually. They're holding. They're holding. We've never run out of fuel. We have never run out of fuel. Absolutely correct. I'm not going to push her. If she gets points, that's good. But I just want her finishing.
Let's see what happened there. Now the Alpha Tauri involved here.
But you know, if you want to overtake while on conserve fuel in the wet, feel free.
Into ninth.
Oh, you know what? Kikuchi. Have a go. Deploy. Do we reckon we're in fuel range now? I feel like we probably are. And once she goes over the line, we're going to push her back onto regular fuel and see how much she gains in a lap. Was that 0.3? Roughly? Let's say 0.2 be conservative. If it was 0.2 being conservative, she'd need 7 laps. And we've got more than 7 laps. I'm not happy about that. I think we need to go it again. But we've got a 4-second lead. We can afford it. Kikuchi can almost take Piastri. You're definitely fine on fuel now. And so are you. Go on. Go on, Yoko. Don't be fucking running wide, Liz.
Here's the replay. Now this, I think, was at turn 13. And that won't help their chances. And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage if they keep on doing that.
Let's treat that as a warning, shall we? Bring it home, Liz. Bring it home.
Right then, we can take a look now. Can they squeeze by?
Oh, that's just cheeky. Following Piastri through. She basically followed Piastri through. I'm not going to push her. 8th is great for her. YOLO. Don't hate me, chat. Oh, she got him. She got him. She's past him. Hold him, Kikuchi. Hold him.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now this happened as they arrived at turn 12. There's the opening.
Yeah, the difference is we've ragged our tyres because we could. Because we pitted that much later. Yeah, don't forget we have like a history channel and stuff on Discord. Do make use of it. Come on, you can hold him. You can hold him. Oh, I might push her again. Yeah, they could have hit their tyres harder than they did. Go on, Kikuchi. Problem is her defending is terrible. Good work, Liz.
And there it is, a win for AlphaTauri.
Astounding. I don't think anyone would deny them their victory lap after a race like that.
I think we definitely nailed the strategy there. Go on, Kikuchi. Bring it home. Let's not run out of fuel. Don't let him take you on the line. Oh, she holds it. She holds it. Of course, no taking off the helmet per regulations. Yeah, no, women aren't allowed to take their helmets off in F1. It offends the oil nations. See you later, Random Deal fan. Thanks for stopping in. That is an excellent result. I am well happy with that.
That was a brilliant performance from the AlphaTauri driver.
An inspired strategy.
I think we got the strategy absolutely spot on like that one, and I think we were also smart to stay out for another couple of laps on that first set of softs. That actually made a huge difference to us, because it meant we could stay those extra 2 laps on the softs. And I think that gained us maybe at least 6-7 seconds.
They'll be absolutely delighted to have picked up the win here. What a great outcome that is for the team.
And that's all for today.
So, that's a max 25 points. Where the hell did, Ooh, Dragovic was 11th. Jack Doohan in 2nd, though. So that puts Liz just into the championship lead. Just. When we came out from changing to the inters, we had very little gap. Where did the gap we accumulated in the first stint go? So we didn't really pick up much of a gap in the first stint. We picked up enough over the people riding on mediums that meant when we... Because pit stop's going to cost you about 24 to 28 seconds. So what really made the difference for us was coming in off the second stint of softs. So I knew that we had, for Liz, we had 22 seconds between her and Kikuchi, and then another 7 seconds on top of that before Liam Lawson. which meant that we had a good chance of sneaking out in first, which was good because it then meant that like we're not involved in a battle to climb up the places again, whereas Kikuchi was then involved in a battle to climb up the places, and because then overtaking takes time, it slows you down, you know, all of that kind of thing. Is Florsch completely out now? No, she's just didn't have a great race. The McLaren's been a bit mixed this year. It's not been an amazing car so far. It's had its moments, but if anything, the person more likely to give us a all-female podium at some point has actually been Ella, although she didn't do a great race this time round. That sneaks us to the top of the constructors as well, on joint top constructors with Williams. Pit stops, we won't be anywhere on this list. We're bad at pit stops. We just are. So money all right. We should be all right on money. Interesting game. Going back to CK3 to find out I'm doing wrong. There, you can't do anything wrong in CK3. That's the beauty of it. Just lots of happy accidents. So that is our final version, rear wing 4. So we start churning them out now. Carol's picked up a point. So yeah, I mean, Yoko has come on a long way in just the short time we've had her in the car. Like her smoothness, I mean, that's gone up a point, I think, in that race, maybe even 2. And that's been her weakest stat for a while. That's still low. Her defending's not great. But generally overall, I mean, she must be on the verge of a 76. And maybe 1-2 more points and something decent drops her into a 76. Yeah, she very much likes her Cardassian engineer. The Cardassians have done us really well, I have to say. That's so we like about Cardassia, but good engineering. She's looking, I mean, like, defending 92. 94 smoothness. Reactions. Still can't believe Lando doesn't have a drive this year. It's insane. Right, you failed on your front wing. So we will move her on to a front wing 3. Keep her on a front wing 2 one more time. Go one more front wing 2, and then she can have a new front wing. See you later, Apathy Sloth. Oh, here you go. This will give you stats. Yeah, like, look at that. That's insane. Just going through smoothness. I honestly think that's just because of the sheer amount of, like, action in the last couple of races. Like, I don't know how it calculates it, but I assume it calculates it based on, in some way, or at least allows for it based on race incidents. And she came through so many race incidents in the last one. Like, I can't tell you how crazy that race was. I don't know if it's going to reflect on here. Like, don't think you can see what it was like. I really wish I'd streamed it. Seems like for most things come from specific actions, while smoothness comes from just driving lots. See, that's my point. There must be other things that contribute to smoothness, because I've not seen a big boost in smoothness like that. Anyway, I don't think you can see the historic performances, but we had three red flags. Kikuchi had 2 near misses for 2 of those red flags. She managed to swerve out of the way of the person who crashed at the last minute. But yeah, pretty mental. Short version is I absolutely do not regret our decision to put her straight into the seat rather than leaving Ella for another year. At the development pace she's on, she will be at least a 76, maybe even a 77 by the end of the season. Which I'm pretty certain is the point where we put Soph into a car, didn't we? Right. So, we could go another front wing. I think we are rear winged out. Let's get one more suspension in. So this is a race part. I feel like medium is probably where we're lowest. Can we squeeze out a bit more? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, after this we're on to research, I think. I can do a recap. Yeah, so basically Las Vegas was the one we did on stream. That was a shit show. Did we lose both cars in that race? Barcelona, we started to scrape it back, so we got 3rd podium for Liz. These 2 we did off stream. So I think I did Discord on... No, I didn't do Discord Sao Paulo. So Suzuka we've just done on stream. Sao Paulo was the mental one. And Kikuchi didn't do too badly in that. So we're doing all right. So next up is Netherlands. The World Saw Horse using interesting new side pods design this month. Cool. My guys are exhausted. Guys, go watch. Go, like, eat lasagna. Literally do fuck all, maybe. Yeah, guys, just literally just go sit in the lounge for a month. Just chill. Ugh, it's annoying. Redo that. Refurb that. Everything else is okay. Now, do we do one more chassis design, or is that our final chassis? Chassis is quick, so maybe we do another chassis. Next ATR is 54 days though, so we've got to be quite sparse on this. Yeah, I think it's worth it. That is a pretty big boost. Yeah. I think maybe that's our last side pod. Side pods we stay on 3. And everything else we're pushing into research for next year. Sixth, 8th, please. "26 days on the chassis? How long? How many races is that? Is that 2? Three, maybe? Yeah, we'll run the C2 chassis. I don't think we'll run the new chassis. Got new underfloor coming off in 20 days. We are on final front wing design. Are we? Yeah, we're not doing any more front wings. I'm a bit more concerned about cost cap this year. We just need to be careful of it.
Hello, and a very warm welcome as we prepare for the Dutch Grand Prix.
Right. Let's do this. Let's get ourselves some settings. Where are my settings at? We are in the Dutch Grand Prix. Where's my Dutch Grand Prix? Oh, Zandvoort. Clear. Oh, I am taking suggestions, by the way, chat, for Berlin and for Vienna and for Kiel, I suppose, for when I'm over there. For nice places to drink, eat, that kind of thing. So, suggestions taken. Right, so, car setup. 9.5. .4, 315, 0.9. No, I fucked that up. 0.9. We're up for 22. that and that. This is 9.5, 13.5, 6.4, 0.315, and 09. One for 22. That and that. Do you use foot pedals and a wheel or a mouse keyboard setup? So this is F1 Manager. So I'm not driving the cars. I am managing the team and managing what the cars do on track. But this is the only reason I'm good at it. I am way too old to be driving F1 cars. I used to love driving games when I was younger, and this is the closest I get to driving games these days. And welcome to the chat, Macawith. The running car. No, so, I mean, what you'll see, so I think we're ready to go on this now, aren't we? So car parts, everything's within tolerances. Yeah, we're fine. Everyone can get at least a race on that setup. So let's save that. So essentially what I'm controlling once this gets going is team orders. So I'm going to send them out because this is practice 1. So you'll notice that popping up here in a second, I'll get the ability to do team orders. So things I can influence is I can tell them what kind of pace they should set, and obviously that all has consequences. I can tell them whether to push their fuel or conserve. I can tell them what type of ERS strategy to pursue. We can also, which we're going to do right now, is set some tactics. I'm going to tell them to avoid high-risk curves, driving clean air. And I'm also going to tell Yoko, Kikuchi, to not fight her teammate. Because in this stage, we're in practice. So I don't mind running slow. We're just doing this to establish car setup. Come on, F1 is about going fast, so set the fastest pace. Yeah, winning practice is a participation medal. I always love it in real life when they do like the F1 social media thing. Will be like Piastri was fastest in practice, and I'm like, yeah, well done, Piastri. That's like Piastri was fastest in a race at break time. It's like in participation medal. So that's getting close to finding out our setups. So generally speaking, this year we're aiming for anything 85-ish in her driver prep. To maximize for Liz, we need to be at 90. Anything over 83 is good, but ideally we want to get to 90. Right, so good is bad. Get in here and let's change that up. And let's get you in as well. Let's reconfigure this. That is a 77. We can do better than that. So that is a great, and 2 goods. Which means we probably want to be going to 14. 7.3. Stay on 3.15 and go up to 1. So let's try that. Run to the end of the session, because then we'll change it at the end of the session. It's free to do so. And 73 as well, that's not great. So for you, we'll go with a good, a good, a great, a good, and a good. Stay on 9.5, 14, 64295 and 0.3, I reckon. Well, I say I reckon, that's what it's telling me. Let's go up to get out there for the rest of the session. Go. go. Freedom is slavery. But yeah, so welcome to the stream, Mac. But yeah, it's a strategy management thing. I love it. I love it. I think it's a really good game. I desperately hope they meet. The thing they need to make sure they do with 24, assuming they do release it, is just make sure it's officially moddable. Because if they do that, then even if they never ever make another one, the community will just keep it going like they have done with Motorsport Manager. I still think that's their big mistake, is like the reason it's not getting longevity of play and long tail sales is because, you know, it's hard to mod. You need to be able to mod it. Then people can put in new liveries, and they can just click a button on Steam to get them, and new teams, and you need custom teams in this. Put custom teams in, then streamers are going to play it as long as I have. Like, it's a good game that is so close to being a great game. I mean, ideally, I want F2 and F3 so you can do promotion all the way through like you can in Motorsport Manager. But I accept that that's probably not going to happen. Oof, good. That's not great. Everyone will add Andretti. Liberty will have an aneurysm. I think there is actually... I mean, already on if you go on the unofficial mod forum, there's Andretti skins. Someone's finally done a decent Lotus one. I'm still holding out for a game announcement though. But Lotus replaces Alpine, so we could do a Lotus run after this. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great, ladies. Right. So, for Yoko, that's a good, a good, a great, a bad, and a bad. Let's try 13. 4, 6. 3.4. Stay on 1. And hopefully that comes back optimal. So we're just going to put you out for the whole session. Can always call you in early. Liz. You are on a great, an optimal, a bad, an optimal. So drop you to 9, 8.2, 2.85, and 0.2. Go. Also related to the 80s driver Mario, the F1 Open bidding to add another 11th team. Yep. So yeah, Andretti with General Motors has gone in for it and got told. So what was interesting and what the FIA said about it, which I found very interesting, was they basically said, not this year, but if GM demonstrate that they are serious about it, i.e. show a race engine, So once they produce a genuine race engine, then frankly, the implication was that they would be let in. But what I did love was the absolute massive, or not massive, but slight dig in that they basically turned around and went, our focus group research shows there is zero value in having the name Andretti attached to this team. So, like, don't make a big thing about how that's the reason you should be in, because we've focus grouped it and it's not going to increase our awareness in the US more than it does. So, you know, if he wants to be part of the team, cool, but we're letting you in because we'd like to see GM in it. That's really what they were coming back with. Which can't exactly have done Andretti's well-known large ego any good. So yeah, I think what they were kind of almost implying was that they would much rather see something that was a GM Works team rather than a pseudo-independent team. There's a lot of hostility towards Michael Andretti and the F1 paddock for various reasons. Yeah, he's not popular on the paddock. Essentially, it was kind of heavily implied by the Liberty Media response. Obviously, they own F1. That you'd almost be more likely to get this if you didn't have Andretti attached. But at the same time, it's Andretti who's managed to pull together a lot of the money around it outside of the GM stuff. Is this Andretti related to Mario Andretti? What's his backstory? Yes, he's his son, isn't he? Basically, Michael was a fantastic IndyCar driver in his own right. Came close to getting a Ferrari race seat in 91, I think. But couldn't get out of his Indy contract. Ended up driving briefly for McLaren in 92. Or I might be a year out on that. Had a terrible drive for McLaren. Just couldn't get round the differences between an Indy car and an F1 car, and he didn't really have enough practice sessions to prove it. The 93. So had a really bad stint at McLaren. Did he drive again in F1 in the end? I don't think he ever drove again in F1. Now, to be fair to Mario, he's been pretty open about the fact that he could have done a lot of things better. Not least, he was still living in the US and flying into England each day. Didn't really help that McLaren kind of hired 3 drivers for that year and therefore entirely happy to kick him out. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had the full back. Also, he wasn't it Senna in the other car at that point still? Like, you're never going to look good when you're in the car next to Senna and not performing. Anyway, there is actually a really good documentary covering it. Pangolin. If you go on YouTube, and it's on YouTube in its entirety, because 93 happened to be the year that the BBC were doing a documentary series where... Did anyone see what the setup feedback for Liz was, by the way? I completely missed it. I saw Kikuchi's was optimal. But yeah, in 93, the BBC did a 6-episode series where they basically shadowed McLaren for the entire season. It is fascinating TV. And it's all up on YouTube and well worth a watch. But yeah, for that reason and various behaviours after that, he's never really managed to... He never built up a lot of goodwill in the paddock. So yeah. Liz said perfect, I believe. Oh, that's brilliant then. Thanks, Critical Chewy, because that probably means she got an optimal. Yeah, that's an optimal. That's perfect. So we can just ping them out. Oh, good, heavy rain. Thanks, Rope Trick. So we'll ping them out for 1 lap. Call them in. Because they can't get any better than they are, so they're just going to be wearing out the parts. There's no point. So yeah, I mean, so I think you might get an Andretti team the moment GM get the engine, but Liberty were basically saying to them, don't be that fussed about, don't think that you need Andretti attached to this to get the thing. If you want to do something with a different sponsor who will throw money at it, go for it. Rope Trick's not here, but if he was, I think he'd say practice weather's not his fault. Yeah, but I was looking at the race forecast. But I will be excited to have an 11th team on the grid. I think it does need it. And having another engine manufacturing is never a bad thing. Well, when I say never a bad thing, I mean Yamaha engines. Enough said. And let's be honest, probably Porsches. Like Porsche very much taking the principle of the King Tiger tank and thinking that's how you build an F1 car. Porsche Turbo was fine. It just weighed like a ton. Yeah, but they were all heavy engines. But yeah, we don't speak about the Yamaha engines. Because the Yamaha engines were terrible. And yeah, life. Wasn't the Porsche engine based off an LM engine? I don't know, actually. It's possible. So yes, there's 0 point in us putting drivers out in this because we've already maxed out our practice, so they'd just be wearing down engine parts. There's just no point to it at all. Weirdest engine source to win an F1 championship, fire engine water pump. Which one was that? Oh, there is another really good documentary up on BBC iPlayer, which I think is still up if you have a hunt around, which is about independent drivers entering the Le Mans Championship in about 1970. If you've not seen it, it's freaking phenomenal. It's one of the ones they again shadowed a team at the time, or rather shadowed a couple of privateer drivers at the time. See if I can find it. Because it is amazing. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. "24 Hours at Le Mans. 1982. If you like racing, even if you don't like racing, watch that documentary. It is a fascinating snapshot of the time. Like when you still had the odd sort of rich playboy driver who would then get a load of businessmen to join his team, and you'd drive a lot of the laps and then give like a couple of Norwegian businessmen like 3 or 4 laps each, and they would in turn contribute and pay for your race car. But yeah, if it honestly, like, it's up there with the McLaren one. Just watch it. Well, Sophie won practice. Yeah, see, look, in good ranges. So 93 puts her in her top. We'd have to get 100 to push her into the top, which is why I'm mostly only aiming for 85, because it puts us solidly in the lower end of that bit. Sports car racing always has had a Pro-Am category. Yep.
Our weekend continues with qualifying as the drivers fight it out.
But yeah, for the Le Mans fans among you, like, watch that documentary. Obviously you need to flip on a VPN if you live outside the UK, but right, it's dry when qualifying starts, so we're just going straight out. Go. Sweet Liz is out first. Kikuchi probably out third. Yep. Okay, everyone is out, so we're going to get one clean run at this. Now this is where Liz's tendency to occasionally do a really shitty qualifying lap might not help us. Oh, might be alright. Might be alright. No. Yep. Maybe. Give me some rain, please. Really do with some rain. Round about now. Please. Rain gods. Rain gods. I think we're going to be alright. Yes! That's us through qualifying one. Oh, Soph, you're out. Piastri's out though, lol. I love that we still have a massive grudge against Piastri just because he had one shitty season with us in the very first year of the game. Like, that is literally 12 years ago in game, and we're still like, fuck you, Piastri. I'm choosing to believe that in game, like, I still refuse to speak to him whenever I see him in the paddock. Just because of how many times he fucking crashed my car in year one. Now, Lemon's worked with the Panels GT1 team, the documentary on YouTube. Oh, that's my post-stream viewing tonight then. Nice. Let's go out on the slightly used. YOLO. Bit of a gamble this, but go. Yeah, 60% rain chance. You just need to be fast enough. Probably not fast enough. Oh. Rain, please. Yes. Whew. Time to get a lap done before the rain. Yeah, that, I mean, that's essentially was the gamble. If we could get out and put enough of a good, decent lap in on used before the rain kicked in, we could at least scrape Liz through, which gives her a set of fresh softs for qualifying 3. Means we still have 2 sets of softs in the bank for the race, which, if you remember, was the difference in the last race, because we could do soft where everyone else was having to go medium soft. Keep on driving around that track, Hadjar. You're not going to get any faster. But you do you. This is an interesting strategy involving training the pit crew and traditional rain dancers, yep. Both our drivers through, which is good. So, allegedly qualifying in the rain. But we will check that. I hate qualifying on inters. Such a lottery. Right, let's see how this goes. Right, so we immediately pause because we want to see that track graph. Okay. Theoretically, we get a bit more grip at the end. So there's no harm really in us going out now. We go out now, we might get 2 laps in here. I mean, we will get 2 laps in here. But I'm not holding out a lot of hope on this because we do not have 2 drivers who are great in the rain. Right, reconfigure. Reconfigure. I need to make sure we've got time to go out. That's better than I hoped. That's better than I hoped. Probably 4th, maybe? No, we're splitting the Williams. Y-axis. Yeah, well, you know, they don't like Y-axes. Kikichi had traffic on the bottom right corner. Yeah, she didn't get a lot of luck on traffic. Neither of our drivers is great in the rain.
It's race day.
Like Liz makes up for it a lot in her control rankings, and Yoko kind of compensates for it. But adaptability is the biggest stat for rain, and neither of them have great adaptability. Delta 9 or Delta T9. Thank you very much for the follow. Strangely, the guy who would be the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary still existed is actually a professional. Interesting guy. Really interesting guy. Accidentally contributed to the fall of communism and the Berlin Wall. I just think it's a pity that sports car drivers aren't in the game, or else we could do a Habsburg run for paradox sake. If there's a gap between the end of this run and hopefully 24 being released, we could do Motorsport Manager Fire Mod, which I think has him in it. We could do a Habsburg's Motorsport run. Right, rain. Rain comes there. Right, rain on lap 30. That's going to be inters. Then we're going to hit and finish the race on wets. So we need to be able to get to lap 32 to allow for leeway on the weather forecast. Yeah, no. She will scrape it on mediums. I think we go mediums. It's going to be mediums, inters, maybe flipping to wets. Which means she definitely makes it on mediums. We can't really afford to push her. That is close. Need to histofat me to get the story. Probably. I think it's his dad, I think. Let me just double check. Double check. Yeah, it was his dad. Yeah, his dad was a very interesting guy. You want the histo fact on it? Okay. So, the short version is Otto von Habsburg was the president of the Pan-European Union, which was a kind of non-political advocating for peace in Europe and openness of borders type thing. And in early 80s Hungary, they gave him permission to speak at an event in Hungary. And he went and gave this speech about how like it'd be a good idea if, like, you know, East meets West, all of this kind of thing, because Hungary at the time was thinking of starting to relax its border rules between itself and Austria. It was in the drinking session after that talk, where Otto was present and various other people were present, where they decided to organise the Pan-European Picnic, which is this picnic that was going to happen on the Hungarian border, where Austrians could come in as well and Hungarians would be there, and it grew into this giant picnic thing. What no one had really thought about was an awful lot of East Berliners would holiday in Hungary, and so they started flooding down to make use of the fact that this essentially represented the opening of the borders between Austria and Hungary, which meant they had a route back to the west. So suddenly you had all these East Germans coming down and coming through Hungary to get to Austria, and because the Hungarians didn't really stop them, it meant it really forced East Germany's hand in terms of opening up its borders. And they started getting a lot of talk and a lot of pressure to say, well, why is all of your people having to go via Hungary if you're not that fussed about it? Like, if this isn't genuinely bothering you. And that was when you started to get, that basically that was the chain of events that led up to the East German foreign minister accidentally announcing that they would open the Berlin Wall, which meant that they had to open the Berlin Wall and everyone flooded through, blah, blah, blah. So all of that kind of comes out of, indirectly, or in some ways out of Otto von Habsburg giving a talk on peaceful European stuff in the arse end of Austria in about 1984. The dominoes start to fall after that. And then, yeah, then his son goes on to be a race driver. Accidentally, in the sense that he didn't think this is how we bring down the barriers between East and West. Just in the sense that he was just generally advocating for peaceful interaction and opening up of borders. And that led, as I say, to the Hungarian picnic, which doesn't get anywhere near as much coverage as it should do, in terms of how influential that actually was. Worth looking into. The Prime Minister of Hungary at the time was a really interesting guy. Quite pro-democracy, and it was part of his sneaky way of doing it. He did an interesting thing, for example, with the Soviets, where, as in the Prime Minister of Hungary at the time, where he said, I'm going to stop electrifying the border. Because obviously there's thousands of miles of barbed wire, electric wire. And he said, this is the power bill. This is what this is costing me, or costing my country. We can't afford it. So he said to Gorbachev, if you want to pay for this fence to remain electrified, that's absolutely fine. You know, we're big, fair Soviets. We get on with, you know, we're part of the team, but we can't afford to do it ourselves. So unless you're going to start picking up the power bills, we are going to turn it off. And Gorbachev was like, well, we're not going to pay for it. Fair enough. Guess you get to turn it off. Very sneaky way of lowering border tension. The East German foreign minister. Yeah, no, that was genuinely accidental. Anyway, let's race. I could talk about that shit for hours. Like, the fall of communism and how it comes about is very accidental. I will do at some point a Blue Sky and a Mastodon thread on the series of events that all comes to that, because it is genuinely fascinating. Right. Given how long we're going to run on that, we can definitely run 2 laps light. Can we get away with 3 again? I'm not going to run 3 laps light because I think it's going to be a bit more... I'm not as confident in our strategy for this one. He meant to open a border, he didn't mean to open it right this minute, which is what he said. And yeah, pretty much. Which meant there was no prep for it, there was no paperwork for it. Loads of people just descended on the Berlin Wall crossings and said, he's just said that on TV, you have to let me across. And once that floodgate had been opened, there was no closing it up again. Right. Let's try this. Not overly convinced in this as a strategy, but it's going to depend on how good our weather center is, which is obviously shit. So
get ready for some fighting between the sand dunes. Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Guessing you're on softs. Oh shit, I didn't even think about looking at a double soft. Chat, you got me talking about East Germany. We should at least consider a double soft. Let's go back and consider a double soft. Days without Nicholas Latifi in Formula 1 456. Aww. I love a bit of Latifi. If we ragged 2 sets of softs, would that be quicker? Like, assuming... So we still want to start lap 32 for another set of inters. Like, we wouldn't be able to full rag. So we'd be looking at about... We need to get 32. No, we could at least full rag 1 set. We'd be looking at that. 8 seconds? Probably we would gain more. Because we could half rag on that. We'd be doing... Yeah, why not? Why not? YOLO. Right, we're not going to full rag on those. So actually what we'll do is put them on that. Let's assume we're putting about there. You did actually ask me about double soft, and yeah, but then you distracted me with Habsburgs. Right, I need a wine refill before we do this. Back in a second. Fun fact, Gene has spent 16 months in jail for tax evasion. That's just like standard qualification for being an F1 team owner, isn't it? I mean, let's not forget that certain F1 team bosses have literally been arrested for tax evasion during the track day in the paddock. You know, Andrea Mode or anyone?
Get ready for some fighting between the sand dunes. The drivers are ready and the crowds are waiting. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we
Change
go.
the pace settings. Attack. And you can go aggressive. Go on, Liz. Right, who's on what? Yeah, I think everyone's doing double softs, so... Interestingly, loads of people don't have another fresh set of softs. So we'll be the only ones on double fresh softs. Go on, Liz. Go on, go on, go on, go on. First corner goes your way. Oh, yeah! That's some Ayrton Senna shit, that is. Just imagine you sitting at your console in the pit with a big glass of wine and possibly a rather nervous IT tech standing just behind you. I like to think I'd be slightly discreet about it, like, early on in the career. So, like, to begin with, I'd just, like, have an opaque flask, you know, like one of those water bottles. And then over time, it would gradually become an open secret that, like, that was actually full of, like, relatively weak rosé wine. And then by season 12, I'd just be openly chugging a bottle of rosé wine out of a nice glass and on the sidelines. Probably occasional complaints from Christian Horner about fucking drinking in the pit lane. But then the less we talk about Christian Horner at the moment, the better. I am shocked to find out that Christian Horner is a bully. Nobody saw that coming. That Williams is right on our arse. Let's see if we can hold him off. We've got better tyres, so... But again, I mean, see the procession. Oh, Kikuchi took Lawson.
Take a look here. Now the Alpha
As long as this doesn't go full center. Well, yeah.
They decide to give it a go.
It's alright, there's more runoff at that track now.
And that puts them in 6th.
Yeah, and he is ragging his tyres to try and get past us. Let's keep pushing ours. I think we can get the duration on him. In the meantime, we get a nice DRS boost out of it if he does pass us, so... Oh, we almost dropped him. We might drop him this time. Dropped like a stone, motherfucker. Let's push down to aggressive. She's still on curve. It's insane. Also, the corner is different. That's true. She is curving badly. Right, we do need to bring you back to standard, I think. She'll drop back a bit now, but it's fine. We are losing a little bit on that, but that's fine. I would anticipate the Sergeant is going to have to go to a set of used softs next. Who went out? Who went out?
And we've had a crash on track. Now with the Haas. But oh,
ouch!
they can't avoid making contact. And that won't do their confidence any good.
Didn't he? No, they're not stocking confetti anymore either.
The crew in the garage could do nothing but what...
Virtual safety car is good for us. It's too early to pit. It's too early. Unless we come out on mediums. Do we pit under the virtual safety car for mediums? Like, is that going to compensate? What do we do? If we pit now for mediums, we'll make the distance. Easily. That might be the smart play. What do you think, chat? You're only gaining about 10 seconds from a virtual safety car stop, so it's probably about even. Yeah, I know. I think it's tight. Could always split strategies. Yeah. Kikuchi's no worse off if she pits now. Let's bring in Kikuchi and leave Liz out, because Liz has got better racing legs in her and she's out front. So let's split the strategy. Okay, Kikuchi's the only one who came in. But she's out in 15th. Now, theoretically, this is Liz's optimal. But I think this means we can keep her out and then rag the resulting softs a bit more. We should have been harvesting and weren't. Right, rag those. You can rag those and you can deploy on that. And frankly, we've gained a shit ton of fuel back off of that. So I'm actually going to let them push. Go on, Soph. Good evening, Big Joe. Welcome back.
So this is what happened. So here we go, heading into turn one. It's there for the taking. And up into 14th they go.
So we'll let them run down to 1.8, I think. It is time to bring Liz in. Kikuchi, I need you to let Liz pass. So she can rag that. I'm going to balance that out now. can't get the designing quite right to make Williams a force. Honestly, a lot of it is, particularly in year one with Williams, no one's expecting to do anything in year one on Williams, so you just flip to research the moment you can. The other thing to know is that CFD hours, so you kind of wind tunnel stuff and all of that, only have an impact on parts on that specific part. The bonus from that doesn't stack to future parts when you're in the design stage. So only bother doing wind tunnel stuff on parts you're definitely going to fit to a car. If you're turning around and going, actually, I'm just going to skip and go from chassis 1 to chassis 3, then don't bother spending any wind tunnel stuff on chassis 2. You might as well spend more of it on chassis 3. But honestly, Season 1 Williams, I would absolutely be optimizing around research for the year after. That's where all my focus and money would be going. I'd be considering it a dump season where I'm just going to coast along, finish last on the grid, and spend all my money on making sure that I get some boosts, minor boosts on research, and then I'd be researching from April onwards the moment that opens. That would be my strategy on Williams. Like, your first season is going to be an absolute grind and not particularly fun, but it will put you in a situation to be a mid-tier team in year 2.
And their place in the pack looks a lot more promising now.
There's Liz coming out the pit. So Kikuchi's going to let her through. Storm it up, please, Liz. So we can change her tactics again. Now I think we probably just let her carry on pushing on those tyres at the moment. Oh, come on! This is our standard, we must have a crash on stream.
Dangerously close to each other.
Oh, fuck you!
Oh, that's quite an impact between them. I imagine their confidence will have taken a knock.
Fuck's sake. Okay. New front wing. Just past the fucking pits as well. Right, Kikuchi, this is all on you. Yeah, look, you know it's bad when he gets the penalty. She did. Oh, it's Ella. Ella's revenge. I really should have put fresh tyres on her when I did that, but I was too annoyed. The second screen. Yeah, well, I know, that's the fucking annoying thing. Right, go standard. Right, and you need to go onto standard now. Oh, I'm annoyed I didn't put fresh tyres on her. I blame you for that, chap. Oh, come on! Our rain estimate's well off. How can our weather centre be that bad? There's no way our weather centre should be that bad. Further designing for better turning instead of top speed. just you can design reasonably averagely. It's just honestly, it's just you can optimize certain parts around like certain parts are better. Safety car. So certain parts deliver certain better boosts. So part of it is just being a bit aware of which parts are going to give you good bonuses. But also plan around the rules changes. Because the AI doesn't. It just does average research and everything. I mean, we're not pitting yet because there's 60% chance of rain. But doesn't mean, at least mean we can put to conserve on tyres. So that probably has saved our strategy. Oh, it's like an L again, was it?
See what happened. Things look fine here. Whoa, and around they spin. And ultimately, just...
That's not the safety car incident.
I'm not quite sure what's happened there.
Oh, Mercedes.
And for the crew watching on in the garage,
Oh dear.
it really must have been a hard one to take.
Oh, Merc. You get him there. Everyone's coming in. That means they're coming in for inters. Might be too late. No, she's in. She just made it in. That means everyone's expecting a big curve on rain. Let's make damn sure we are coming in. Yep. I mean, that might save us. In terms of Liz getting some points. Because that is at least going to scrunch everyone up. Because we're not lapped. How did you gain a place on a safety car, Liz? Do I want to ask? Because you were definitely 14th a minute ago. Sergeant pitted, did he? Right. Ladies. It's on. Right, how are we looking on track details here? Yeah, we're definitely going wet tyres at the end of that, surely. Liz being crashed into rather than crashing. But yes, that's what it was. In this case, it was our very own Ella that took her out. It was Newland. Newland getting her revenge. She's having a bad race. Right, we probably do need to drop those tyre temperatures now, because that is coming off a cliff.
Now the Alpha Tauri involved here.
So yeah, we had to pit her and stick a new front wing on her.
Up to 12th and sniffing at those points.
But that safety car has helped her. Yeah, I mean, that's going to stay dry for a bit, and then it's going to go straight up again. Just going to run them light. Really do bringing those tyre temperatures down. This is where she does struggle a bit, because she just isn't as good in the pack as everyone else in the wet. Here we go. We're absolutely heading to a wet tyre finish here. Pit for wets. The track's going to be wets by the time this VSC is over. Pushing hard on worn inters in a rapidly wetting track might be as bad as someone else just found out. Yeah, no, we survived. I think we pit for wets now. Because this is climbing. Right, Kikuchi's there. We've got a little bit of time. No one else is pitting. Ooh, Lawson and... Ooh, shit. Bad day for Haas. That's 243. If we get 2 laps of virtual safety car out of this, yeah, he came in. Everyone's gonna come in. We're coming in. We come in for wets and we run light on them. They just drive into each other. They must have done.
We've got a yellow flag here.
How do wets last? They're not bad. Remembering we've only got that amount of laps to do, it's more that they'll get absolutely shredded below 4 millimeters of rain. So that's the gamble. But others are coming in, so I think at the very least we're going to be in comparison. Unless they come out on fresh inters, in which case we've just fucked the race. But that's going to spike over 4. Well over 4. Oh! There's a turn there, Jack. Bonk indeed. If we pick the wrong tyre here, we've fucked it. I don't think we have. No. Sonoda's on wets. And they're under temperature. Not going to time punish too much. It does carry over to the next race. Fully charged ERS. Let's give him a bit of ERS. Go. This is it, ladies. This is your chance. Go.
Let's see what happened there. So here we go, heading into turn 1.
She just take 2 on the same corner.
Begging to be taken.
Oh, she did. She did. She's going to take him.
And as a result,
Oh, she didn't. Yeah, no, she did. Look, she gets him there. Kikuchi. You madman. You madwoman.
here's the replay. Now this was at turn 1. The gap opens up for them. And I wonder now if
Oh,
they can
look.
capitalize on this.
Liz is like, look, anything you can do, I can do better.
Let's take a closer look. Right, let's have a look now. Around turn 3.
Go on, ladies.
And the Alpha Tauri manages to get by.
Right, it basically comes down into whether we can hold it. I suspect we might drop back now because
now the Alpha Tauri involved here.
Depends on how much this rain falls off.
Give it a go.
Oh. I feel like we should let Kikuchi have a podium. I think she deserves it. And remember that Lawson and Doohan are both out, and those are Liz's championships rivals. So 4th place is plenty of penalty. She's going to get more points. I think we let Kikuchi have a podium, chat. I think she's earned it. She didn't break a front wing. Newland ran into her. How did that ridiculous gap at the front happen? Because Tsunoda had a faultless drive, and because Lawson and Doohan ran into each other, and they were up there. Don't overtake her, Liz. She gets this. Just hold off Montoya. Ah, Montoya passed her, that's fine. Gotta get this, Kikuchi. You just need to hold him off. You just need to not lose this corner. You've got him, you've got him, you've got him. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Go on. Oh, she got it. No, go on. No, she got... Oh, he took her at the last minute. Come on, you can get it back. No, you can't. You're on 25% tyre. Ah. Boo. Problem is the wets are really paling off now, so... She's getting shredded.
Tsunoda, Yuki Tsunoda, over the line and
Great race, though, from both. Great race. Well done, ladies. That could have gone a hell of a lot worse. He was on the inters, so she didn't really have a chance at the end there.
That was a brilliant performance from the AlphaTauri driver.
Well done, Kikuchi. Yeah, I mean, she picks up a few points on Jack because he's not near it. So... And I'll take 8th after losing a front wing. There you go, she's hit 76. What does she put points on him? I'm not sure what she got extra. Maybe 1 in adaptability? She get a front wing. You're onto the newest suspension. So, do we need to do... She's got Bahrain in 11 days, so we will have new side pods by then. We've got front wings coming off the line anyway. Rear wings. No point building new side pod, old side pods. Underfloor. We've got UF3s installed on both cars. 17 days until more underfloors. Let's build 1 underfloor. Yeah, low morale. Why should I have low morale? She's leading the championship. Why would she have low morale? They're all right. They're all right. They're all good. Didn't give her a biscuit, apparently. -4 factory events. No. Denied. I want my money. Okay, that's side pods 3. So we do want to get some of those manufactured. Right, research. So the big change is coming. So we might as well start with front wing. So in terms of known changes already in regulatory terms, we are looking at losing a ton of speed off of, or a ton of downforce off of front wing. So this is research. It is worth doing this. We've got 41 days left. We're going to get in 4 projects. After all the airflow changes last time as well, that's not nice. Yeah. So that's roughly 0.8. And that is an 11. So brake cooling isn't really being hit next year, so we're going to drop brake cooling right down. I know airflow sensitivity is being hit, but can we use it to get a bit of a boost? Don't want to get rid of it completely. Set some performance targets. Qualifying 8th and reach Q2. Finish position 8th. Let's go with a finish position of 8th over 3 races.